Hi everyone, it's the Book Guy here. I've got a couple of updates for you. There's a few small changes coming to the channel, but because there's a couple of them, I want to let you know in a special video because we're in the midpoint of 2025 and there's a bit of a direction shift going on around here. So I've got 3 updates for you and I'll keep it nice and quick. The first update is a little bit of a sad one. On my channel, we usually do monthly themes where I group all of my book reviews into a category for that month. We are sadly no longer going to do them. I am sad to see them go. I've been doing them since September 2023, literally while my channel was still 6 months old, when I did a sci-fi September, but I've done young adult months and middle grade months and all sorts of things, and they've been so much fun, and I've absolutely loved doing them, but it is time to move on for a couple of reasons. One reason is I often find I read a book and then it takes me forever to find enough books like it to group it into a theme when I just want to review that book. That's happened a few times too many, it's been a bit frustrating. But the bigger reason we're getting rid of these monthly themes is because the themes weren't just about creating a bit of hype for you guys. It was also about writing a schedule and sticking to it. I need to throw that schedule out the window and introduce a lot more flexibility into my life, and for that I need to share with you a bit of a personal thing. You see, you guys might know my wife, Kit. She's been on the channel a couple times, she's been in a few videos. Well, we haven't shared this publicly, but Kit is actually disabled. So I'm not just Kit's husband, I'm also her carer. And I do have a responsibility of care towards her. In fact, one of the reasons why I started a YouTube channel was in the hopes that I would be able to work a job where I was at home more often, and I could more consistently give her the care she needs. Kit was going to come out and tell you about her conditions herself, but she's not feeling up for it today, which is very on theme.
Ironic.
Just so you know, she has autism, ADHD, endometriosis, and fibromyalgia. And so all of these things combined give her a lot of chronic pain, a lot of chronic fatigue. She has very high sensory needs, and sometimes she even has selective mutism, where she goes nonverbal in certain situations. The point of this is that her needs are very reactionary. Sometimes she has really good weeks of health where she doesn't need much support from me. And on those weeks, I get all my YouTube work done on a Friday morning, and I have a 2-day weekend off. You know, it's wonderful. And then there are other weeks where she has very high needs. I end up working into the early hours of the morning and working weekends trying to keep up. And that's not really sustainable going forward. So in order to make sure I'm giving Kit the care she needs and I'm not overworking myself to do it, we're going to throw my YouTube schedule out the window and just start making videos when I can and posting them when I can. One of the other reasons we don't talk about the disability very much is because people don't really get disability. They seem to assume that you can just fix a chronic illness or just change disability with just yoga or self-control, and
That's not how the Force works.
But also, we're not just looking for sympathy, is the point. You see, people with disability don't, your sympathy is appreciated, but what they are really looking for is your accommodation. They don't want you to say, oh, you're in a wheelchair, that's sweet. No, they want a frickin' ramp so they can get into the buildings they need, That's what accommodation is more practical. It's humanizing. So if you want to accommodate us, one thing you can do is click the notification bell. So rather than just checking in once a week for my weekly video, use the bell, get a notification so you actually see when they pop up, because they might start being a little bit more irregular around here. Now, on to the second announcement. One of the other reasons why I'm throwing the schedule out is because the time has come for me to start writing my next Immortal Investigations book, book number 4. And I'll just share it with you as well. I have a bit of a working title in my head. Originally, the working title was going to be Bloodlines in the Sand. And Kit said that was really stupid. So the next... Where book 3 was called A King in Waiting, we're thinking book 4 might be called A Queen in Exile. It's just a working title. It may be subject to change, but I like it at the moment. But I want to start prioritizing that book, and so that means sometimes not sticking to a strict schedule and also making time for writing. It's a real challenge to juggle a channel and writing a book as well. A reason for this is because when you're an indie author, you don't have as big an audience. So what you need is more products. That's how you kind of make up the difference. You sell more things to your smaller audience. So I need to get the next couple books out there. That's sort of the way to go. So that's going to be going on in the background. Now, the third and final announcement is what content am I going to be making in the second half of this year. So obviously I'm going to be focusing on my classic book reviews. That is the bread and butter of what I do around here for sure. That's never going anywhere. But if you look at my channel, we've recently set up playlists so you can see all my videos grouped together. I will obviously be working on the book recommendation playlist a lot. That's where most of my time will go. But the other three little categories I'm going to be focusing on are my read-throughs. So you might have seen I've been doing very casually a Discworld read-through. That is going to be getting a little bit more priority because I want to make reading through series more of a staple on this channel. You see, I don't just want to give you a recommendation and tell you to go off and read a book. I actually want to do it with you. I want to participate and sort of guide more people into reading these books. So I will be doing a Discworld read-through. I'm thinking long-term, once I've done the other 35 that are on my list to do, I'm probably going to read through Realm of the Elderlings, which is a series which doesn't get enough attention, and maybe after that Malazan, but we will see. That's a big if on Malazan, but that's something we're going to prioritize. The other two things we're going to work on are literary essays. That's a big thing. I want to talk about literacy and education rates. That's something that's going to be becoming more frequent. You'll keep an eye out for them, I hope. The third and final one is the writing difficult topics. Now, you might have seen that in May this year, I did two big videos, Writing Realistic Democracy and Writing Realistic Propaganda. I'm so proud of those videos. They did not get a lot of attention, unfortunately. Those took about 200 hours each to make those videos. They're very long form, very well researched, and highly edited. Still, I want to keep doing them. I hope you'll check out the existing ones and follow along because that's something I want to make a staple of my channel. Writing advice on really complex topics that you will naturally encounter in trying to write a book. How do you do them realistically? That's something I want to talk more about. Okay, so that's all. Just a reminder, no more monthly themes means a little bit less consistent with the posting and a little bit more miscellaneous with the content. More focus on writing book number 4, which is going to be great. I've already planned out most of the book. I need to just sit down and type it. And keeping up with more content, doing more video essays, writing videos, and of course, book recommendations. So lots of good things happening on my channel. Make sure you check out the links on how you can support me if you want to. And I will see you very soon. I've got another book recommendation coming whenever I can. That's how it's going to work now. All right. Love you guys. Bye.